And welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is a premiere pod. Is a proof, I guess, for the website cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Welcome back in. Here we are doing another interview episode. It's very special. We've got 1/3 of a comedy trio. Question before I get into introducing. This is neither here nor there. Did I try to get the other 2/3? Yes. Did we go through a couple weeks of scheduling? Yes. Will the other 2/3 be spoken to? No. Welcome back in. Hey, look, it's fine. Who cares? At least we have this. I'm talking to a very wonderful comedian. Again, 1/3 of this comedy trio. Gabby Gutierrez-Reed. She's a third of the comedy supergroup, their words, Firecracker Comedy. That also features Kate Strobel and Salma Zaki. I hope I'm pronouncing both of those names correctly. They're in different places. 2 are in New York, 1's in Colorado. But they just released a new album, vinyl, comedy album, special, just self-titled Firecracker Comedy. And it features the 3 of them doing 20-minute sets each. It's fun, it's vibrant, and I think you'll like all 3 of them. I know I like at least one of them. Okay, I'll stop. This album came out August 22nd, and what these women do is they come together. Usually, when they tour, they'll come together or perform together. They'll come together, and then they will do this thing where they do 20-minute sets with each other. There's an introduction from all 3 that welcome the audience to, and it really just to who they are and shows you exactly what you're going to be in for. I think that they all have their own styles of comedy, and fortunately, you can see each one of these styles on their Instagram page. I'll tell you what. I know it is so difficult to coordinate, a group of people, let alone a tour. Wait, a tour of people, a tour of comedians, of 3 artists, let alone a comedy group. Yeah, that's it. That's the way. I think that is there's something to be said about that. For however long this lasts, be it 20 years. Be it 200 years. But I think it's fascinating how they each have their own Instagram accounts. They have the Instagram account for Firecracker Comedy, and they're all populated. You can see, again, how different each one of these comedians' jokes are. And what's great is because they're all different people. I talk about this in the interview with Gabby, who is based in Colorado. But Kate is kind of like this wild card who is loud and proud and tall as hell comparatively to the other 2. And then Salma's this, again, I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Salma's kind of like a laid-back delivery mechanism of a comedian who's very physical. I will say Kate is a lot more physical from what I've seen on Instagram. And then Gabby. She's a good balance between the 2, very confident on stage. She has a signature look of those glasses. And the joke delivery is on point. I like this comedy trio, this supergroup. This is neither here nor there, but recently I've made a YouTube. I have YouTube Music, which makes me the coolest person. People are like, "What streaming service do you use?" "Oh, I use Spotify. I use Apple Music." I go, "I use YouTube Music." I made a YouTube Music playlist of groups of musicians called supergroups, and it features some of the biggest bands. Boy Genius, who I came in way ahead of everybody. Oh man, I was in on Boy Genius ahead of all these little teens. Audio Slave, Belle Biv DeVoe, West Side Connection, Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young, and then also Crosby, Stills and Nash. The Highwaymen, the Highwaywomen, the Traveling Wilburys, Temple of the Dog, the Highwomen, and then Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. It's as Silk Sonic. There's more, I'm sure, but those are the people that I have on that playlist. I love a good supergroup. I hate superhero movies. I don't hate them. I dislike them. It's two different things. Anyway, back to Firecracker Comedy. This album, again, self-titled, celebrates the trio of badass women who center their comedy and everything they do around their deep and undying friendship, love, and appreciation for each other. Salma and Kate are based in Brooklyn, as I mentioned, that they're based in New York. They perform at Union Hall a lot. Of course, Gabby's down over in Denver, which is another great comedy city, which is something again we talk about. They just want you to check this out, and hopefully go see them in festivals and clubs, and when they go tour. See them in sellout shows, and just enjoy who they are. Have I ever lied? You know I never lie to you. I wouldn't talk to somebody I don't think is funny. Oh, trust me, I've seen it. You should see the emails that I don't respond to. I see every single email. I look at somebody. I go, not my deal. Not my bag. Oh my goodness. Anyway, check out Firecracker Comedy. Album out now. You can buy it on blondemedicine.com or, wherever you get your albums. Apple Music, Bandcamp, Spotify. You can buy the physical version on blondemedicine.com. The vinyl, which again is very cool, is very hip right now. Oh, also, this was recorded at live at Mashroom Studios in Denver, Colorado. So, if you want to know where the venue is, then that's where it was. You can check out. Well, they have a YouTube channel. I don't know if they use it. You can check them out on Instagram at Firecracker Comedy. You can check them out on YouTube at Firecracker Comedy. You can follow them to see when they're going to perform live. If you want to follow Kate on Instagram, you can follow her at kate.strobel, Strobel. You want to follow Gabby Gutierrez-Reed. She's on Instagram at shishgabab. You can follow Salma on Instagram at Salma, ZAKY_. Again, Firecracker Comedy. Check it out. If you want to see a video version of this interview, go to youtube.com/C+comedy, where you can see the video versions of the other podcasts, Late Night Lately, the Late Night Show, as well as LinkedIn Logs, the Jobs podcast. Subscribe to those shows wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on social media. Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok at C+Comedy. Me at Chad Black White. Now, enjoy Gabby Gutierrez-Reed of Firecracker Comedy.
I'm pretty all right. I just got off work.
Yeah.
And my dog's hanging out with me in my office.
You say that my dog just ran over here because he heard me
Oh,
talking. I don't even know if you can see him. He's back there at the door
he's
somewhere.
back there. What kind of,
You see
oh
the
my gosh,
shadows.
better. What
Uh,
kind of,
he he's a pit mix. He's a little baby boy.
oh,
Oh, look at that cute little. Oh my gosh.
I love pit bulls.
Yes. Oh my gosh. What kind of dog is that?
She's a Chiweenie. I'm pretty sure because she's like got her as a rescue, but like her body's a little too long.
Yeah. Chewini.
Yeah.
Her coat looks amazing. That's what I've heard people say, but like
Oh,
truly, it looks great.
no, thank you. Yeah, it's wild. I don't know if she like ran away or what, but she's
Mhm.
like so mellow. She just doesn't like to be like left alone, which just makes sense because she was abandoned somewhere. So,
So was he.
oh yeah, really?
Yeah, yeah.
God. Yeah, this world and dogs, there's so many of them, and that's why we step in.
Yeah, yeah. We're heroes, okay?
We're
No one else.
freaking heroes,
That's
okay?
right. So what do you do for work, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, right now I just started a new job
Hmm.
as a customer service representative for Medicare.
Okay,
So,
kick ass.
yeah, I didn't see myself doing that, but I've like come into some health issues as of like
Hmm.
the past few months. So
Hmm.
I was looking for work from home jobs to like help me out in that realm, and
Yeah,
I was hired. I don't know how or why, but
yeah.
I,
I get
yeah.
it. I understand. I just finished a contract with a website writing entertainment news, and I come from the regular news world. So it was just, it's truly just writing like the most pop culture bullshit news, like, like Jennifer Aniston's new beau, all his life story, and this, for $10 an article. And it just, it
Yes.
was horrible.
I that sounds hard. Yeah, like the clickbait stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely heard of a lot of comedians doing that for sure.
Yeah.
Are you a comedian yourself?
No, let's see. So actually today's the 14th. 2 days ago was the 12th anniversary of this stupid website. And I've been doing this for 12 years, and maybe for 1.5 of those years I tried to do stand up. I have like every single note card I took to every open mic.
Yeah.
And by every single, I mean there's like five. And so I did like five open mics. I did not like them because I wasn't I wasn't good at it. But
It's
it, wa-
hard to
it's tough
get good
stuff.
at
It's tough
it.
stuff. But I'm watching clips of you and everybody else in Firecracker, and it's whether you all have been doing it for a couple of years or you've been doing it for a couple of months, it seems like you're all good at it, and at least you have found this common connection, so you can pull yourselves together into this group and do something with it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
we kind of just organically found each other and
Hmm.
we all have like weird little voices. I would say like Salma, I mean everyone's a good writer.
Hmm.
It's funny when you're like, oh, this person's better at that or that. It's like we're all good at that, but Salma's writing is like so sharp and Kate's writing is also sharp, but like the way that she performs is like kind of out there and I'm
Yeah.
like a very physical comedian. I like get silly and play with like repetitiveness and um, yeah, I feel like we all just like click together,
Hmm.
our sense of humor and friendship, like styles. So
Hmm.
it's really cool when you can find people like that
Yeah.
in a vast sea of like what is going on, you know?
Yeah. What I really appreciate about your comedy, all three of you, is that you're all just kind of weirdos, and it really just because when you have excuse me, so many straight-laced comedians, it can all get kind of stale. I've seen this. You've seen so many comedians just kind of get up there and talk about the same things over and over again, but you're
Yeah.
right. Kate is a giant wild card, and Salma
Yes,
is.
that's a great
I was
wild
watching some
card.
of her videos on Instagram where she's just like dancing or like jumping on a table or just doing something to get a
Yeah.
laugh. It works. And then like watching you is different from watching her, but in the way that you can talk about your relationships and it doesn't feel boring. You know, you're just like, hey, I coming out as bi or trying to or going on a dating scene. And then Salma is talking about everything. She's talking about like being asexual or you know things of that nature. It all coalesces into something that is at least interesting to watch. And the better part is that it's funny because you have to start at that bottom part of talking about that regular stuff, but it's the way that a comic can elevate it and turn it into something different and unique. That's when it all becomes something much better than what it is.
Yeah, I feel like you find your voice and then eventually your integrity in comedy of like, is
Mhm.
this really me or am I trying to fit what I think someone else wants me to be? And that's like a challenge in life no matter what. And
Yeah.
I started out being like kind of weird and stuff, and then there was like a period where I didn't really stop doing those jokes, but I did like kind of have this inner turmoil of like, oh, when I watch that comedian, all they have to do is stand there and is that like what I'm supposed to do? Is like write more wordy jokes or like write this way so that I can fit this box of like getting into this festival. But then when I like got over that and was like, no, no, I should be myself and just learn how to be a better writer with my performance style. And like that's when I, got into more festivals and
Yeah.
that it's just really cool. It's simplifying it. Just be yourself because everybody tells you to do that. And you're
Right.
like, but it's so hard. Like, I'm so fucked up. No, why do
When
you
did
want
when did you
me?
start feeling like you were somebody who could be yourself on stage? Like what was that like when was that turning point that you just mentioned? Like was it year one? Was it year three? Was it last week? Was it when you like did and when you had to make that concerted effort, was it a good pivot for you? Did you make it was it easy on yourself or when you saw your inner turmoil and said, God, I am fucked up? Were you able to easily switch into that mode?
I think it's ever evolving because you are changing as a person all the time, but and your experiences and what you write about. I want to say probably year 7 or 8. I think Kate Salma and I have all been doing comedy for about 10 years.
Hmm.
And um honestly, also this year, I was feeling really good about the jokes I was writing and having fun, like being incredibly physical. I like have this clip I want to edit at Comedy Works, and it was just like it's fun being like, oh, I can write that joke and I figured out how to do it. And it's just about like knowing what people's type are if they date me. And it's like, it's cartoon character because I look like a cartoon character. And like, especially with what I wear performing and just silliness. Yeah, it's just fun, like doing an act out for that joke. And
Hmm.
like, um, that's my style of comedy is a lot of act outs. So
Okay.
it is nice being able to be like, probably 50% of my jokes are act outs, and that's fine and that's fun. And it is variety in a lineup where you want that. A whole evening of comedy. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny, I talk with my comedian friends about sitting through an entire comedy show, and we're all like, that would be torture somehow because we all are like doing it all the time, but we're
Yeah.
standing in the back of the room. And so like when you really think about like somebody sitting in a chair for an hour to an hour and a half, you do want there to be variety between each comedian. You don't want
Hmm.
everyone's life experience to be the same. You don't want everyone to be the same gender or race or whatever. It's
Hmm.
yeah, fun.
What cartoon character do you think you look like? Or what cartoon characters?
Yeah, I think in that joke I referenced Mexican Arthur. Um, Maybe like fucked Velma or something. But I do really love like stripes. You know, like Hey Arnold attire.
Yeah.
I feel like I either wear like sweaters like Arthur or I'm wearing like a striped t-shirt or like sweater vests a lot of the time.
Hmm.
So it all kind of just like comes together. We all have our inner cartoon characters.
I think out of the two of those, Arnold dresses cooler because what it's that giant green shirt over those black, red and those plaid shorts he's always wearing.
Yeah.
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 Arnold's cool. Have you read, like, I was watching a video coincidentally on Arnold yesterday, and it was about Helga's mom on Mother's Day, and Phoebe asked her if she's going to make a Mother's Day card, and Helga made basically just like a sheet of paper that said Happy Mother's Day or something like that. And then she goes into this whole spiel about how her mom is a bad mother. And then it was like a compilation of clips of Miriam Pataki drinking smoothies, which is her alcoholism, and sleeping during the day and not packing Helga lunch foods. And it's crazy once you just go back and rewatch. I always rewatch cartoons. I'm always watching cartoons. Phineas and Ferb is on TV right now, but
I love
uh,
that.
but if you just go back and watch cartoons from our childhood, from years from decades ago, then
Yeah.
you can see all the stuff that's subliminally put in there that every adult can relate to.
Yeah, it is cool. Like I nannied for a long time and the most engaging cartoons are the ones that have those like hints of adulthood where you're
Hmm.
like, oh my God, I can't believe they put that in there for the adults. They're like, yeah, this is for kids, but these adults have to be there and watch it next to them.
Yeah.
So let's make it a little interesting for them. But what is it? SpongeBob is something I watch. Like I'll watch clips on YouTube and I'm just like, this is so good.
Yeah.
Everything about the show is so hilarious. Or
Hmm.
like the, you know, jokes about daredevils. It's just like this episode's going to feature daredevilism. I'm just making that a word.
Yeah.
But just all of the tropes in television is like they pump it in there all the
Hmm.
time with these characters, Sandy and SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward. It's so good.
Have you seen the latest two movies, the Plankton movie and the Sandy Cheeks movie?
No, how recent are they?
Within the last year, I believe they're Netflix exclusives, but the Plankton one was I really enjoyed it. The Sandy one was hit or miss, but you get more backstory about Sandy and Plankton for an hour and a half.
That's great.
Yeah.
Why not? They need spin-off shows. Sandy's really interesting. I love her accent.
Yeah. I loved her gadgets. I always wanted her to invent something for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you guys have been doing comedy for 10 years each at least. Um, you're still in Denver, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in
Okay.
Denver, there in New York.
What's the comedy scene like for you there?
It's really cool. I think it definitely changed over 10 years. Now it's funny when you become an older comedian or
Hmm.
older in terms of like your comedy years. Um, you see all of the things that you used to think about comedy and sorry, that's a you see all the things you used to think about comedy and you're like, wow, that was really dumb that I would think like you're a year in and somebody like cancels a show and you're like, I can't believe they would cancel on that show, but they like got a better show and it's like, duh, you would do something like that if you were getting paid like $200 versus like $20 for this other smaller
Right.
show. Um, so that's like interesting and fun when you start to have those like realizations about like how someone might have thought when you were younger and they were like an older comedian. But the scene itself has evolved into like these fun sub scenes of
Hmm.
theme shows or now there's a roast battle scene. There's just great like all kinds of different comedy in terms of like now there's way more queer comedy or women running shows or there's definitely still just like a lot of straight white men and that's awesome too. And
Mhm.
like I'm just kidding. But everyone like coexists like pretty well. It's a big scene, but you still know everyone. I feel like in New York or LA, you could be like, I have no idea who that person is. If
Yeah.
they like someone comes through from LA and you're like, oh, do you know that guy? And they're like, no, I've never heard of that person. Um, so it is cool that Denver feels like a big scene, but also like small and family-like. And um, there used to be more, not really a competition between like women comedians, but there it just was like, I feel like there was more of a culture around that. Like, oh, women supporting women wasn't really
Yeah.
a thing, but now that's totally a thing, and that's awesome that people can't make you feel smaller than you are. You just kind of get to exist and not think about it as much, even though you still are.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like yeah, that there used to be like a pitting of women comedians against each other and like even for like comedians of color it's just like people couldn't
Mhm.
exist at once but there's so many different avenues for enjoying comedy as it is and it can be as big as putting on a streamer or as small as going to your local stand-up comedy show or even your improv theater for when all three of you are coming together again and like let's say they come to Denver or you go to New York or you're meeting at a festival do you plan things out when you plan your show out if you're doing 20 minutes each how does that work for the three of you?
Yeah, we've gone on tour together and we've headlined with about 20 minutes each. And that's been really fun. I think we went to the Midwest one time, to Iowa and then Missouri and Kansas.
Hmm.
That was really cool. We got to headline all the shows. We've done our show at High Plains Comedy Festival 2 years
Wow.
in a row. So that's really cool. That's like one of my favorite festivals here in Denver, run
Mhm.
by Adam Caton Holland, Karen
I know him.
Wachtel, and a whole team of people that make it happen. But um, yeah, that's what we do when we like plan it out. We've had our show at Union Hall a few times in New York, and we kind of did that more showcase style, and that's super cool because there's so many amazing comedians in New York, and then you get to meet people and run a fun show at an awesome venue.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to Adam, I don't know, maybe like a year and a half ago or something along those lines, but he was so gung ho about the comedy scene in Denver, which in preparation for his interview, I had to do a lot of research, and I knew that Denver was a bit of a comedy haven, uh, but it like hearing it now from you and excuse me from other people, it's just amazing. When you guys are touring, what is it? Um, like do you feel as somebody you and I were working people on top of doing other extraneous artsy activities
Yeah.
and I'm not sure about Salma and Kate but I can only assume so when you're touring and you're going to Missouri or to the Midwest or with your group of people and you're telling jokes what kind of that has to bring some sort of like big fulfillment to your inner comedian, your inner art person who's doing like my worries are gone. I love my dog, but I'm out with my friends telling these fire ass jokes. We're firecrackers doing comedy, and we're going to be gone for the next 2 weeks telling these jokes. How does that make you feel as somebody who doesn't necessarily get that fulfillment all the time?
It is fun being on the road. I think that comedy allowing you to experience new places for a reason is very special. I guess it's the same way as somebody being forced to travel for work, except you don't have to go to like some random convention about new tech that is
Yeah.
coming out. So we just kind of if you don't have to work on the road, you get to explore the city and like check out museums or landmarks or just like meet up with people that you've met before and enjoy good food. And then you get to do it with your friends. And sometimes you don't get to do it with your friends. You might just be like kind of opening up for someone random on the road or something, but then you get to know that person. But it is really special when you get to do it with your friends because you just feel comfortable. And
Mhm.
then you're not bored when you're driving through these like really long states. You're actually having fun listening to music,
Yeah.
or maybe writing future sketches or something, or just getting to be creative together.
Yeah. What do you all do sketches as well?
Yeah, yeah, we all do sketches separately. We've done
Mm.
sketches together. I love sketch comedy. I'm so happy that it's one of those things, just like anything else, you kind of just decide to do. It's like nobody's stopping you. You're kind of like, ah, I want to do that. How do I do that? And you either, well, now you can use your iPhone, but you know,
Yeah.
you can also use a camera, but you find a team of people if you don't do it by yourself to help you do that. So you're like, who has a camera? Who's really good at editing? Or am I going to get really good at editing? So that's fun because then you're like, I'm gonna learn that new skill and I'm gonna edit this video and ooh, we get to like ask people to be in it. So let's think of some other people that would be fun to hang out with today. And then I also kind of ventured into the film realm
Hmm.
and wrote and filmed a TV pilot with my sketch group last year.
Really?
That was fun. That's gonna come out. Hopefully October we'll have a premiere and like try to get into festivals and stuff. But it just like sketch can lead to so much because then you realize like, oh, I'm already doing film. I
Mhm.
could also just do film if I want to.
Yeah, yeah. Is this the paranormal thing I read about?
Yeah, paranormal. It's about a paranormal mall.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I did my research and I have really good retention in my brain, so no big deal.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for
Yeah, yeah,
remembering.
yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. It's tough. You can people are talking about, write all the time and do the things that, can get your little art brains moving, but I think it's tough, but when you can actually sit down and come together, whether with your sketch group or on your own, and you can put, pen to paper or words to screen, it's something that and you come up with a finished product in the end. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's something special. When like, do you write your jokes? Or that's a dumb fucking question, you idiot.
No,
Do you,
no. You know what? That is not a dumb question because
okay,
some people don't.
okay.
That's and I think I don't really know. I'm like, what is the opinion on that
Mm,
in like across the whole comedy community? I don't really know. It's like it feels good when you write your own jokes. I know
okay,
that. Like I've never had somebody fully write a joke for me. You like talk about it with your friends or they give you tags. They're like, "Oh,
yeah,
you can say this after that line." And then you're like, "Oh, I'll try that on the next show." But professional comedians they're so famous. They have so much going on. Yeah, I understand maybe like buying a joke from somebody and
mm,
you wouldn't even know. Like, I feel like I've been with someone and they've been like, oh, I wrote that joke. Or you just know, like, through the comedy community, like, yeah, our friend wrote that joke for this very famous person. And then you hear it and you're like, that's really wild and funny and cool for your friend
yeah, yeah. I
that
think
they,
it's people talk about ghostwriting in the music community, but yeah, in the comedy community, it's a huge thing. It's especially like back in the 80s or 90s, somebody like Leno would just go out and spend $200 if he heard something at a comedy show. He'd be like, "Hey, can I buy that joke for $200?" And then you get it. That was a pretty good impression.
that was amazing. Could I buy that joke for $200?
I do a great Billy Crystal as well. I do a great
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield, and I'm
Oh,
always regret.
really?
I do my here's my Rodney Dangerfield. And this is a bad one that I do all the time. He goes I get no respect, no respect. I told my wife I love her, but she said who you talking to? I get no respect, no respect. See, that's
That's
my
pretty
Rodney Dangerfield.
good.
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
the.
yeah. You got to get the shoulder, the move the
I
shirt
would
and
love. I'd
everything.
really love to make it big,
Would you?
so big.
I think I would have killed as like an 80s comic wearing a giant suit, just like a
Yeah,
giant zoot suit. That'd have been so fun.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's amazing. I'm like,
Uh,
what were you? Oh yeah. I feel like, if you go up to someone and you offer them money for their joke, that's the honorable way to do it. And then I
mhm.
feel like some people actually just take the jokes and then they start telling them, and you can't do anything about it because they're too famous.
They're
And
too famous.
yeah, that's life. That is life. But
Well,
I write my own jokes.
yeah.
I tend to work them out at open mics and shows. Because I'm like that kind of comedian. Some people are just like, I'm writing it. I'm spending an
Mm,
hour a day writing. And that really shows like the most successful comedians I feel like have dedicated writing time every single day.
mhm.
Um, and everyone has a different style. I feel like I write down notes, and then I have to say it out loud. And it really helps me like find, especially because of the physical part, it just helps me find like what is funny for me and how I
Yeah.
perform it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I also do a lot of writing too. I'll do like outlines if I have like a script idea that
Mhm.
really inspires me. So I have like a Google Drive just or folder just full of outlines. Just but I also do write down a bunch of sketches and like on my notes app in case SNL ever calls me. Just
Yeah.
like I'm ready to go. I've got hundreds of sketches from 2021 onward.
Listen, Lauren, I'm pretty busy, but I guess I can give you some.
I guess I could give you some. Now with this new record,
Yeah.
it's getting a digital release. You're also doing vinyl, correct?
Yeah.
That's amazing. How did you guys land on actually now releasing your first record, but then also you're going to do this giant wide release? And I mean, I like Blonde Medicine. That's amazing. Like that's great that you all are partnering with such a wonderful company. Not an ad,
Yeah.
not an ad, not an ad, not an ad. Continue.
Blonde medi Blonde medicine. Get yours today. Um, yeah, I mean, I was stoked when they said yes. I honestly it was a leap of faith and
Hmm.
of like putting ourselves out there, and um I really haven't asked very much in my comedy career. Like, I feel like you get to a point where you're like, okay, this is like time for me to advocate for myself. But
Yeah.
Salma was like, hey, we should just ask if we can do this, and it worked out. But it's wild coming from a place where you're like, you first start comedy, and that has kind of changed since starting too, 10 years ago. You just didn't ask for anything. Like
Hmm.
that was just not a thing that you did. And it's really cool that, eventually you just get noticed and you start getting on shows, and then it becomes a career where you're getting paid for stuff. But there comes a point where you're like, that'd be really cool. Maybe it'll work out. And then it did. So yeah, blonde medicine rules, and everyone like they know rules because we're friends with people that they're friends with too, and it makes
Mhm.
sense. You're like, of course you would know Tom and Jessica. Yes.
Yeah, it really feels like they're kind of the I don't want to put an indie label on it, but like they feel like an indie kind of indie label, like I guess like a Tower Records when it was at its height. It feels like they have people from all varieties of comedy and also from all levels of comedy,
Yeah,
and
I think
it's amazing.
I think Eddie Pepitone is releasing an album, or Jackie Cation. Wait, is it with them? I don't know. I might be getting that wrong,
I
but
think
I
you're right
know.
about Eddie because I asked about an
Yeah.
interview and I was not denied, just ignored.
And that sometimes is better than denial.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was denied by Kerry Washington and Method Man and Davine Randolph Joy recently, and they said respectfully no.
I love that. You know what? But you asked, and that's the thing, is like the worst that could happen is no.
Mhm.
Or they could send a legal team after you. But I doubt that they would do that to you.
That's like my
Um,
dating life. Both of those have happened.
yeah. You are done. You're done. I ignored this alarm, but I forgot to bring this medication up. Can I step away for like
No,
one?
don't worry. We're done, Gabby. No worries. We're finished. Thank you so much. But congratulations on Firecracker. You guys are wonderful, and I
Yeah.
genuinely hope to see you continue exploding in the future.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
And thanks for letting me take my medicine. My blonde medicine. No.
No ad, no ad, no ad. You're welcome. You're welcome, of course. But thanks again, and good luck with this release.
Thank you so much. Great to meet you.
Great
Have
to
a
meet you
great
as well.
night.
You too. Bye.